All right, so the house begins to get painted today. Real quick, what's happening with the roses? Look at just how beautiful these things are. Absolutely stunning. Everything is just grown like weeds out here. These are going to be yellow, huh? Yellow. And this is probably my favorite. Is that gorgeous? Wow, just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Wow. And this one right here already blossomed, but a little bit it'll come back. But yeah, everything's growing really, really nice. Checked on the garden this morning. Everything's really, really growing. But let's head over here, see what's going on. All right, so the crew is here. If you need any help with your painting needs, make sure to call Jacob. Take real good care of you. But anyways, we're getting everything ready to go today. And this is the before. Take a good look at it. And later on today, this will all be painted. So Jacob, any word? What do we got going? What's the process right now? What are we doing?
Prep. Once we're done prepping, it's spray.
Okay. All right. We'll let you get to work. But yeah, this thing is way, way overdue. So really looking forward to see what this is going to look like in a few hours. There you have it. Here's where we're at right now, side of the house. We decided that the wood was so dry that we're now going 3 coats. Thoughts?
Needed it.
Needed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm even contemplating 4.
That wood was so dry, it just drank the first 2 coats.
Yep.
Third coat was basically a first coat. I think it'd be best to put 4 on, but
we're going to have to talk about that.
It'll be good on 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Know?
So, yeah, I don't know if the camera's really picking up much of it. Very noticeable. It may look similar to the last color, but it is definitely a different color. This is leather. I'm not sure what the other color was, but it's night and day. It's actually a little bit lighter than the original color, but this house was so dry. So just it's nice to see things coming back here. And of course, there'll be little repairs that go on along the way here, but we're hitting it. So sun just came out about an hour ago. They've been calling for rain, but I think we're going to see any today. So I think they pushed it back to Thursday, but there was a chance today that we were going to get a little shower, but we got nothing. So it's a nice day. It's going to get into mid 80s, but yeah, it's coming along real nice. Real nice. We hung this up, got the speed bag. I'm going to change this bag out. It's a cheap Everlast bag. I'm going to put a better bag and swivel on here, but nice to have the speed bag back. I've not worked on a speed bag in probably 6 months. There's no boxing gyms out here. Got my reflex bag. Ryan Garcia's dad sells these. It's the best. And it's a great workout. Very, very good piece of equipment. Highly recommend it. This in a speed bag. We got the gym equipment over there, some dumbbells. And of course, you know, I go to the gym out here about 3 times a week, but this is nice to start getting my cardio workouts in, my boxing. So nice to have that. I'm going to get one more mat for over here. That step's removable, so move that out of the way, put a mat here. So I can work the reflex bag 360 degrees, 180 degrees on the speed bag. Just nice to have the speed bag back. So there we go. Get in shape, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, more to the video. What is going on, YouTube? Got the big boy out here. We're going to do a little obedience, maybe give him a bite. We'll see how it goes. I noticed in the last video, a lot of professional dog trainers out there apparently telling me that I'm doing things all wrong. I'm creating a monster. This dog's going to be vicious. This, that. Just to clarify a few things. First off, why do I work with this dog? Why does he bite? Why does he do a lot of things? First off, let's talk obedience. Got to have a dog that's obedient, especially a dog like this. Bite work. Why does he bite? Any dog, let me clarify this to the ignorant people out there who have never worked a dog in their life. And for the people out there that make these remarks, please post videos of your dog, post your dog's working, post your dog's obedience, post your dog's conditioning. Please show us something. I'm an open book. Really quick, my history, many years ago, I worked for Adler Horse Police Canine, which is now Adler Horse International. Had decoyed hundreds of Dutch Shepherds, Malinois, had 2 of my own dogs, 1 dog from Europe. I won hardest hitting police dog, the Orange County Police Canine Association, 7,000 people there. I think it was 54 or 56 departments. Had a really high-driven dog named Diesel. And he won hardest hitting police dog out of 54 or 56 departments in 2000. And that was quite an honor to be there. But I had the honor to work with hundreds of dogs from Europe. I went to multiple police basics with my dogs. And so I think I know how to work a dog a little bit. I mean, it's been a long time. I'm a little rusty. I might be making some mistakes here and there. I'm not, training with the people I used to. I don't really have anybody to train with. It's a one-man show right now. But, my very close friend Jim Erickson has a facility in Riverside, California. And he still trains a lot of dogs, a lot of protection dogs. And plus I put out a video in the year 2000, maybe it was 1999 or 2000, of my dog Diesel. We put him through every scenario, all of his obedience, on leash, off leash, all of his bite work, going through bomb bunkers, deploying from helicopters, running up mountains, jumping off 10-foot boulders into rivers to go bite the bad guy. And it was an hour long of nothing but unadulterated dog bites. And this dog could work his butt off. So I was really proud of that. But so I've had years and years and years. I went to many clubs in Southern California. We worked, me and my friend Eric, a very good friend of mine. We probably worked dogs at every club in Southern California, from Los Angeles, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, you name it. We were probably at that club at one point working dogs. So I have a little bit of understanding of how dogs work. And so yet people out there just seem to have all the answers, yet I never see their dogs. I never see their workouts, nothing. So getting back to this, why do we do this? Because I want to have full control of this dog. Why do we teach him to bite? You don't really have to teach a dog to bite, right? Any dog can bite, but is it controllable? I want full control. When this dog can bite, who he can bite, where he can bite, and he must learn to out. Most people's dog can bite. And if you have a dog, obviously that's good size and can bite because it has teeth and it can bite somebody, but you have no control. If that dog goes running after somebody, can you call him back? I can do that with this dog. When he's in a high-driven mode, prey drive, I can call this dog back. Why? Because that's what we've been training on. So if your dog's running after somebody, or going to run out in front of a busy road, when you call him, will he come back? More than likely, most people who are not training their dogs consistently, that dog is going to go F you and keep going. So it's either going to go bite somebody or get run over. So this is why we train. The bite really is all about control, because again, any dog, big or small, Chihuahua, can bite. But we want this dog to bite under control. Why do I take this dog to Home Depot, Lowe's? Everybody says, oh, I'm creating a monster. This dog goes to Rural King every week, Home Depot, Lowe's. We socialize him. He goes everywhere with us. And why does he not just go and eat somebody on aisle 10 at Home Depot? Why? Because he's not allowed to. Because this dog respects me. And an untrained dog typically doesn't have much respect for people if it's untrained. That's why they jump up. That's why they don't listen. So I like a well-trained dog. And with a dog like this, yes, it can be a huge liability. So I want full control of this dog. But again, for the people out there that say I'm doing it wrong, please show us the videos. Please show us your dog. Show us the condition of your dog. Please show us something. It's always like people that will comment on somebody on a workout video and they'll say somebody's doing it all wrong, and the person's like, 8% body fat, and the person commenting, is 400 pounds. So, I mean, there's a lot of ignorance out there. There's a lot of mental illness. I know. I just hope these people are getting help. But, somebody also said, oh, I'm doing it wrong because I keep repeating the command. Of course I'm repeating the command. It's called repetition. This dog is a puppy. He's learning. That's why he gets a slight little pop of the leash, and he gets the command. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. So when he is off leash, he understands what the command is. So I just don't get where people got their dog training skills at. But I was blessed to be able to go to multiple police basics, work with multiple departments from all over the country, and work the dogs that I had back in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. And I still retain some of that knowledge, and I'm giving it to him the best I can. I wish that there were more people out here that I could train with. I do have some phone numbers to some law enforcement out here at the canine department. We're going to try and get in touch. But until then, I gotta, just go slow with this guy, and he's a puppy. But it's just interesting out there how everybody has all the answers, yet they never have any proof of their wisdom or their experience or their knowledge. Listen, nobody's perfect. I'm sure I make many mistakes training this dog right now, but I'm gonna do the best I can. And you know what? He's turned out to be a pretty good dog. But these people, oh, the monster, you're creating a monster. Please, with the nonsense. My dog, Diesel, that dog was insane. Yet he could play with kids all day. I could trust him with anybody. He was a very, very social dog. You could turn him on, turn him off. This dog, he's not as nice, but I'll tell you what, he does his job here. I live in the middle of nowhere. You think I want a nice dog? You think I want a nice dog out here? Some lunatic shows up here. This dog's going to alert me. Somebody goes, oh, somebody will just use a 90210. That's fine. This dog is going to alert as soon as you get here. Has somebody ever used a 90210 on this dog? Well, guess what's coming right back at them? So to me, it's another layer of security, because he can smell better than a human. He can hear better than a human. If somebody breaches the house, this dog will engage. And you know what? If he lost his life, that would be horrible. But whoever enters this house too, they're gonna meet their maker. We hope that nothing like that ever happens. But why do the police have police dogs? I don't. Why do the multi-millionaires and billionaires spend $100,000-$200,000 on a protection dog? Why? Because it's, number one, a deterrent. Two, it's another layer of security. Three, they feel safer when they're gone from their homes, that their wife and kids are safer. Nothing's 100%. Yes, somebody could come here with a 90210. Guess what? There's going to be multiple 90210s coming right back. That's just the way it is. So yeah, this isn't going to stop a bullet. I get it. But you think that we're not going to respond force on force? Give me a break. He's here as a deterrent. He's here because he can hear better than us. He can smell better than us. And he is an alarm system. Now, if he had to engage, he will. But if somebody has a 90210, yeah, we get it. But that's why we have 90210s too. And that's why I have a range right there where I train. Right there. Look at the killer. He's going to eat all our guineas. Oh my goodness. Isn't he vicious? Look at that. He's never eaten one bird here. But again, you talk about 90210s. Well, that's where we train with 90210s right there. So, we're always going to be having his back, and he's going to have our back. So somebody pulls a 90210 on this dog, oh, going to be a bad day for them. Bad day. So we're trying to cover all bases, and then we'll have another one of these. So now it's two times the pleasure, right? So now you got to deal with two of these guys, not one, but two. And then you got to deal with the people in the house. So nothing's 100%, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll tell you what, we're going to put the odds in our favor the best that we can. So to all the ignorant people out there, the killer right here, this menace to society, running around with the guineas, the tortoises, everybody, kids, his bone. Yeah. You a menace to society, aren't you? Anyways, going to do a little obedience here, get a little workout in. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening. They began painting the house. It's looking a lot better. And we get back into it tomorrow. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Oh, that a boy. Good boy, Turbo. Good boy. Oh, good boy, Turbo. Oh, that's a boy. That's a boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. All right, it's yours. Oh. Good boy. Oh, he's starting to get it. He's starting to get it. Good boy. Good boy.